Greetings. This is Professor Welch introducing the course on political science. This is a very exciting course. You'll learn very many interesting things. Aristotle is known as the father of political science. Aristotle had the view that people were like a herd of animals and they live in groups. And so he's looking at political science with a biological explanation of political power. Historians and political scientists are very different. Historians are reluctant to generalize, but politicians, political scientists, they look for generalizations. They seek them out. Which one are you, a historian or a politician? Machiavelli, Machiavelli, sought to teach the role of power in politics. Now, culture is very important in politics. This explains power by examining the tolerance of individuals. Various cultures perform in different ways. For example, the Asian culture respects the elderly and has great deference. However, there are other cultures that do not give that same degree of deference. Now, looking at sovereignty and sovereign powers, sovereignty is supreme power or supreme authority. Public policy is a political science subfield that studies the interface of politics and economics. Public administration is also a subfield of political science. So think of public policy and public administration as important subfields. Most politicians seek popularity and they hold their views firmly. Can you think of examples of politicians seeking popularity and holding to their views? Political scientists are skeptical of power and offer long-term consequences. The era of political science that was the traditional era, which I'm very familiar with, focused on the study of law, institutions, and ethics, and that is the traditional view. Foreign policy is under the subfield of international relations. Political science may be referred to as a master science because it relates to other social sciences. When people base their views on beliefs that may or may not be based on reality, they are acting irrationally. If they act rationally, they're basing their beliefs on reason. But there are those who are irrational. And an important election you may have read about or heard about would be that of George W. Bush, who's often called W. I often call him, when thinking of his father, he was Father Bush and the younger was Baby Bush. But you can call him as you desire. And the case of the election of George W. Bush and Gore, that was in the political system for some time. Some people said we looked like a banana republic. We couldn't declare a winner. But the United States Supreme Court ruled in favor of George W. Bush. And then once he took office and was sworn in, the people accepted him as having legitimate power. Even though they challenged Chads and all of this, there finally came the point of the final decision and the inauguration, and he was seen as legitimate power. Political power is the ability of one person to get another person to do something. Rational means being able to reason, so that's very important. Legitimacy is the mass feeling that the government rule is rightful and should be obeyed. They legitimize it. Okay, one thing that you can see in political science, it's a very big alphabet soup where you're learning many definitions, and many definitions are important. This is the end of the first recording on the introduction to political science, or week 1 lecture.